Hey guys, Rudy here. I wanted to talk about something real quick. It's this the generation, the baby boomer generation, and their proclivity to play victim. And I've watched a few of these kind of shorts where we have like testimony from baby boomers raised in the 50s, 60s, 70s who kind of claim that they were victims in some way. And I'm gonna let this video speak for itself first. So let's just go and play it.
Never allowed to talk back in any way, even to question why should I do something or could I do it later. We weren't treated as if we were people. We were another species.
Another rule, control your emotions. In the 60s, masses of baby boomers would reverse this one and, quote, let it all hang out.
Oh, I'm so happy. I could be a model or a cover girl.
Hey, what's gotten into that crazy kid's sister?
Oh, Jeff, don't be that way.
Notice how Mother seems to become angry herself because of Jeff's anger. Perhaps she shouldn't, but anger is a violent emotion.
You know, it's really suspect when the narrator is trying to reverse this. Like, this is the son right here, and the anger gets passed on from the parent to the children. But this narration is trying to tell the opposite story of notice how mother, copies her son's anger or whatever the hell he said. It's like, this is just complete, like a complete falsehood here.
And we often see an induction of behavior or spread of emotion to other persons, like a contagious disease.
If you misbehaved, you weren't normal.
We were never allowed to talk.
Alright, so we got that. I'm gonna play something else. And this is a recording from 1977. Let's just play a little bit of it.
Quick, your turn, Christy. Christy! Christy! Sandy! Me? I can't fit so I can wear my right shoes. Too big for you. Mom, pick this one,
problem following the things that we did before, Ren. Go back to what we had originally, or find the greatest common factor, another name.
So just going by the optics, guys. Just going by the optics. Does this look like an oppressed generation to you? And this is last day of school, 1977. These kids are about, let's say the age from the youngest maybe being 7 to the oldest maybe being like 11ish, 10ish. So we got a date of birth around 65, 65 through 68. Let's just say that, right? So these are young boomers. These are probably in the top spectrum of what you consider a baby boomer, like the really, really late baby boomers. But they're still baby boomers nevertheless. And do you see, like, just going by the optics in the United States, do you see a generation of oppressed children? So this narrative they try to pull, and I've seen multiple videos of this, and I'll play a few more right now, just to get just to kind of nail it, just to kind of get it through your head of the mentality of the baby boomer generation. You know, if you're a millennial, 99% certainty that your parents were baby boomers. They might be silent gen, that's a possibility too, but chances are they're baby boomers. I'll play this one and kind of keep the volume down a little bit since there's a lot of captions.
Old children, I think it's hysterical. Check this out.
So we got millennial. These look a little younger than millennials, but this is definitely a boomer woman right here. Millennial son, bisexual, homosexual. always going along with the crap, right? Like in terms of the boomer parent, instead of leading the way, is like participating in the destruction. And he looks like he's wearing a work shirt, so I mean, is he about to go to work or what's the shame in that? It looks like he's gonna eat before work or something. That's what it looks like to me. But I don't know the story, right? But you get my point. It's like it really is just a horrible, just absolutely bewildering generation of people who try to shame their children into acting a certain way. In the same way, by the way, in the same way their Great Depression parents and their Silent Gen parents did. You know, their parents shamed them to act a certain way. Now they're here they are doing the same thing. Let's keep playing. And what you put out is what you get. So this man right here is you. Whoever this boomer is. Like, this is a carbon copy of you, dude. He's acting like you did at his age. This is your fault, whatever is going on. I know it's supposed to be cute, it's supposed to be funny, right?
Unfortunate reality, though, for you parents, the children are your fault if you didn't raise them correctly or if you were a bad parent.
Yep. But it's like, you know the saying, sins of the father onto the sins of the son, and that's the Adam and Eve curse, right? That's the mythology that we can't break away from. Here, I'll play another one. It's gonna be cropped out. You don't need to see what I'm looking at. Let's play this one.
In the average American family today, children are the object of more concentrated thought and concern than the young of any previous generation. For out of an increasing understanding of child psychology has come an awareness that children are real people with individual personalities which must be respected and encouraged.
This was a distinctly new way to be raised in the world. And it allowed for a whole generation that I suppose we would now call spoiled.
Oh look, it's the thumbnail I used.
Kids who had very high expectations.
I used that as a thumbnail in one of my videos.
And happiness. They thought life was about being free and about being happy. And they carried those expectations forward into high school and into college and brought with them a kind of level of expectation that was simply unprecedented in, I would say, in world history.
So we got another YouTube short talking about baby boomers and how they were treated special and had privileges that no other generation had, right? The Great Depression generation didn't experience this. You know, they were, instead of going to school and playing on the playground like you see here, let me switch. Like you see here, playing in the playground, right? Going to school, playing in a playground, getting a higher education, or, you know, as good as education as it gets in the United States. So the boomer gen, raised with all this privilege of getting an education, going to school, having stability, and they have the nerve to pretend as if they were some oppressed group, some oppressed minority in a world where they made all the rules, and they still have this narrative to this day. A lot of boomers still think this way. And any of y'all who have parents that are boomers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A couple of cats out there that know what I'm talking about because I know they have boomers. They have boomer parents. I had a boomer parent. And it's like, they're all the same, man. Like, it don't matter what country you go to. You saw that Asian man. So in essence, a generation of spoiled brats who made all the rules when they became adults. And here we are suffering the consequences when it comes to everything. Social justice, feminism, women's suffrage. That started in the 30s, but they're the ones who kind of pushed it forward in the 70s. You know, 50 years later, they go, oh, 50 years of struggle, or whatever they say. Soon it's going to be 100 years of struggle, because apparently women don't have enough rights, and I can't think of a single right that women don't have that men don't have, that men have. It's insanity to me, guys. I think I can play one more. Yeah, let's play one more.
Was this sense that, yeah, well, sure, they're using sex to be popular now, but, you know, what about in the future? They're going to be, like, thrown on the rubbish pile. And I think that did happen, because I think that boys did maintain an attitude of, you know, they wanted to get laid, but they wanted to marry a virgin.
Yes, isn't that Eileen?
It sure is, baby and all.
Gee, I haven't seen her since she left school.
And maybe this was the biggest rule of all. don't even think about having sex. In the 60s, young people all over the country would proclaim, if it feels good, do it.
So this really harkens back to the presentation I did about a week or two ago, where I talked about these ideas that spread into the future, that spread into the present day about men who feel as if they can sleep around, right? And they can have any woman they want, and when they get tired of that, they expect to marry a woman that's a virgin, right? It's kind of cheesy. It is cheesy, but we had that played out in like the 80s and 90s, and of course the women follow, right? The women follow the lead, so it's like then they start doing it. They get in the workforce, they want to have a job, they want to have sex with whoever they want, just like the men wanted that, because they lead. I mean, men lead and women follow. So this is where these ideas stem from. Here we go with the single motherhood, right? Don't you dare be a single mom. And it used to be shameful, but now it's a badge of honor. The really interesting thing about single motherhood during the World War II era, World War One, World War Two, primarily World War Two, because that's when that's when the men in the United States started going out into wars and dying, leaving families behind, and that's when the single mom badge of honor started. And it's like, it used to be considered like a powerful thing, right? Like, oh, we can do it. Like, we can work and raise our families all at the same time. But never mention the network of people that they have, right? They don't mention the grandparents. They don't mention cousins and aunts and uncles that help with the children. They don't mention any of that. Billy's from Stardust Simulation likes to talk about that, where a lot of single moms like this attention they get by having this single mother badge on their chest at all times, and they'll let you know within meeting them within about 10 minutes that they're a single mom. So we still got that fractal playing out in the modern day, where the single mom dichotomy is like considered a badge of honor. Thanks to the World War II era, and to me, what I personally think is that that was the purpose. Like, war is meant to separate the men from their families, so that they can be separated from their father, therefore being separated from God. And that's truly what I think about when it comes to these wars. Any war. It doesn't matter if it's World War I or II, but World War II was the biggest. World War II was the most significant in that way, where the women were given this fake authority and fake empowerment, and that's why it's so disastrous in modern day. And ain't no telling what it's going to be like 10, 15, 20 years from now. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I have to say. This video is supposed to be a little shorter, but I think I got my point across. I said what I wanted to say about this. If I have any more to add, I'll add it later. Have a nice day.